Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions,
Welcome to MME Movie Madness Entertainment. Hey, we're streaming again. We're having some fun. I will get to the topic in a second. I do have to share something with you guys. Guess what I had in the house again today?
Not
Brian. Maybe it was the same one.
Whoa.
He came back.
Very interesting.
Oh, yes. So that's what I had to deal with earlier. I was like, maybe I don't want to cancel the stream. I got another bat. I think it's the same one. I called my mother. I'm like, how is this bat getting in here? Or is it another? And she says it's probably because we don't have central air. Our window air conditioners. It's probably, and she said it's probably the same one.
Yeah. It burrows its way in, kind of.
But you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to smack the hell off with. I said to my wife, I said, listen, it's going to come right at your face. It doesn't. That's what they do. They latch on to stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. So I had the broom ready. She went up there, and she was trying to I don't know what she was trying to do. And we both, I put my hoodie on because if you go after a bat, put a hoodie on because they're going to latch on.
Yeah, you got to have the hair. Did you have the mask on? I'd have worn the mask.
No, I should have. Because I wasn't ready to film it. But she had a hoodie on too. And we put down a window in the hallway. And I was going to try to throw it out the window, whatever we got it on. So all of a sudden she's like, latched on to her. She was wearing a hoodie, and I said, "Just throw the hood. Just get to the window and throw the hoodie out." And she's like, "No, I'm taking it outside." And I'm like, "What?" And she puts her hoodie like this, and she goes and walks all the way out the front door with.
There you go.
You know what? I'm not a man. I'm not a man. I don't like. I like Batman. I don't like bats. I don't.
Yeah, I dig it.
I don't wish any harm on bats. But yeah, I'm not a fan of bats.
There's a reason why he used those to strike fear into the hearts of people.
Yeah. Judge me. Go ahead, judge me. Phobic. I can't wait. I'm admitting it on stream. I'm afraid of bats. Oh, thanks. Now there's more eyes on it. Yes. So yes,
no bad feelings. I'd have done the same thing.
my wife is my wife's a country gal. She's ready for stuff. She's dealt with these things more often I have with their parents. That's not an excuse for me. I mean, that's not. I should be more manly. But I was going to smack the hell out of it. I'm like,
that's what most of us would have done.
I mean, because I know it's coming at your face. I almost fell back down the stairs. Before that happened, because I was going up with and then it for some reason swooped low once. I was like, whoa! And I went backwards, and I almost fell straight back down the stairs. I didn't have to share that, but I wanted to give you guys something a little bit extra that are tired of all the DC content. So there.
Fair enough.
I don't like mice either, but bats, they swoop at you. They're like, they go for your head. I mean, they don't intend to. And then when it was on her shoulder, it was like, it's like the whole time it was on her shoulder.
No, I'm the same way with birds, man. I used to work at a shop, and down the street was a McDonald's, and you'd walk right there, and on the way back with your food and everything, they'd start swooping at you, dive bombing you and shit. Hell with those birds, man.
Yeah. No, some two people thumbs this down already. They think I'm gonna. Are you? Is it phobic because I'm talking bad about them? I don't think phobic would thumbs it down.
No, I think it was before we even started.
I think it's because I'm not taught. The thumbnail is not shade. is not shady as you think.
Well, Marvel fans. I'm sorry. I mean,
no. I like Marvel. I am a Snyder guy. That I'm not against Marvel. I'll be honest. I was originally on the bandwagon against Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, and I refused to see it with my wife. And then I realized that it's so ridiculous that the people are against her.
Yeah, and then you watch it's not that bad.
Say a lot more offensive things than she does.
Yeah,
and triggering fools. So heck yeah, Captain Marvel, go ahead. I'm rooting for the sequel. I rewatched it on Disney Plus, and I'm like, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not against Marvel. That's not what this is about. But it is a throwback to the old Genesis versus SNES. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. So DC does what Disney don't. Why did I not say Marvel? Because it's not exactly Marvel. It's Disney Marvel. And there is a difference.
No, Disney Marvel is a sausage factory. They crank their movies out.
They're successful.
Have forms that they put them in, like your kielbasas and your other times, but it's still sausage at the end of the
day. Yeah, which it's working for them.
No, I like sausage,
But here's the thing. What did you see from DC fandom? And this is I'm trying to do other content. Yes, I'm talking about DC, but I'm trying to include Disney Marvel too. And I actually looked up, try to find any news I could for Disney Marvel.
Well, it's something that Marvel needs to do. I think the fact that DC, especially as of late, has been really accessible to the fans. I mean, they've done 2 fan conventions within the course of a month.
Disney would charge for this somehow.
Oh, absolutely. They'd have figured out some way to make money about it.
I mean, maybe
23 or a Star Wars Celebration. So it's like,
maybe that's why they want it on their website so bad. They get traffic and I don't know. They get ads on there. I didn't see any ads, but here's the thing: after we saw Fandom, it's very evident with the tone of the Batman that they are continuing with Zack Snyder's Justice League. That you're going to see the final thing with the Flash, that Batfleck's back, and the Suicide Squad. Yeah, it looked funny, but they said ultra violent for the one like John Cena. Even I got image I'm like the boys made this even more prevalent. The boys show that they're willing to go risk it this much because they wouldn't have done a Suicide Squad PG or rated R a few years ago. Yeah, but now they're embracing their strengths and treating it as an opportunity instead of a handicap.
Well, yeah. Even in the comic books, I mean, DC has always been darker, with the actual, comic books themselves. I mean, a lot of the Dark Knight comics and stuff like that, I mean, they were well beyond. I mean, a lot of the cartoons that they have out with the Joker and stuff like that, those are some pretty gnarly stuff. You'll never see that in Marvel.
No, I do admit it is leaving a gap for families that want Superman back. I get that.
Oh yeah.
If you come at me and say Zack Snyder's vision's garbage, it's dark, I'm like, come on. In the context of the storytelling, it works. It fits the characters. But if you come out another way, you say, oh, I can understand it. I could follow the story. I could appreciate what they're doing. But how can I take my son or daughter to see this? Then I understand. This is not for children, and there is a gap there. There is definitely a gap. I think before they were trying to please everybody, and when you try to please everyone, you please no one. Really, it wasn't working. They're always chasing the mouse with the Marvel Disney.
Yeah. And
you're always going to be one step behind Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel is more family friendly. Is that always necessary in the comics? Yeah. There's so many different versions of Batman. You'll be able to find your comic.
Yeah.
The problem is there's even though with the multiverse, you're not going to have 4 Batman movies coming out at the same time, one for the kids, that's the problem. Yeah. But you can go to a comic store and get a different, find a Batman comic for your kid. there's different versions.
Of course, I mean, but we also want something that if a parent's going to take their kids to a movie, they want to watch it as well. You know what I mean? So,
no, Phobic. I'm not saying darker means better. I'm saying what DC did in the past was they tried to chase the Avengers, even getting the director.
Well, especially with Justice League,
and you're always one step behind, and then always compared to it. So what should you do? Don't try to compete in the same market. DC does what Disney don't, and that is more adult stuff. Fill a different part of the market. Because if you go with the exact same market share, the exact same viewer, you're going to be one step behind. Not even necessarily because the content's worse, just because they did it first. You got diehard fans. There's people that are so invested in everything Marvel does. It's much easier to go with your strengths and not be handcuffed by roles.
Yeah, exactly.
DC, now that they're not handcuffed, especially, I'm talking about handcuffed with trying to please everyone.
Well, yeah, that and trying to chase that Marvel clout, you know,
and handcuffed by sticking. I mean, even Marvel, they do this much better than other studios, but that's because they're so formulaic. I'm not saying the movies are bad, but they follow a formula.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're different molds, but they're all the same.
To a cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
So take off the handcuffs and the shackles, let loose, and just make the film.
Yeah.
And I think I see a confidence here, and I see them embracing a different route than Marvel.
Are you listening, Feige? Pull your head out of your ass and let the directors have some.
Well, this isn't comics. I mean, comics is a different business.
Oh yeah.
Movies, you only get one Batman movie every 2 years or something.
Yeah.
You can't have multiple versions. So instead of fighting the fight, going directly with Disney, do your own thing. And I'm surprised at just how strongly that Joker must have I'll tell you I think was the last straw besides the pandemic. The last straw was Joker making more money than any comic book movie has ever made based on its budget. I'm saying profits.
Oh, yeah.
So you could go darker, more adult, lower budget, and make profits when you're not sticking to this and chasing, hey, Prime. Yeah, you could come on if you want, Prime. I'll send you a link.
So, Prime.
But I just see that. I want to get to the chat though. I thought this was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And let me see here. Let me see. We're Prime Time. Where are you? I don't know if you're busy or not. I want Marvel to succeed, though I like everything. You know me. I'm an easy guy to please.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat right now. It's like with such a lack and all the BS just in the whole fandom industry. Let's just call it an industry because that's what it is.
no, man, I agree. We're not saying all DC comics are dark. They're not. But the other thing
are dark.
The other thing is if you don't, because there's so many other versions of Superman, Batman, if you don't do a aggressive take, everyone's going to compare you to the other one. Like if you're just going to do a normal bat suit, the same type of Batmobile, you're just going to get comparisons and no one's going to be happy.
Yeah.
Let me see. I agree, Phobic. Why can't DC and Marvel both be liked?
That's kind of how I feel, yeah.
This past week on all you guys' channels, I've seen nothing but DC fanboy lunacy, the likes of which I haven't seen since school. Although, Phobic, you were triggering them on purpose.
It's to a certain extent, some of it was justifiable, but yeah, I mean, it's their time. Let them.
I'm not a DC fanboy. Like I do think they bash Marvel a little bit too much. I do agree with the formulaic stuff, but I like it. It's fun. My wife loves it. I mean, it's family fun. It really Disney, Marvel. Most of the time, there's a few films that I even like the Spider-Man films. It's something different.
The thing about Marvel, though, I mean, they did their thing. I mean, they did it for 10 years, you know, a little bit longer, and Endgame happened, you know. So it's, if anything, that whole thing about fatigue, superhero movie fatigue, you know.
A cancer doesn't like a cringe Battison. That's a surprise. I mean, there's not a lot. There's some Snyder Cut fans that I'm a little I still love them, but I'm a little disappointed in, because they are not open to a new Batman. I mean, Ryan's more level-headed. He says he doesn't like the Batmobile. He said he's interested. The trailer grabbed him a little bit, but I am slightly disappointed with some, not all, but with some, that they're just like, they're so on board with Batfleck coming back. I want it all. Yeah. I mean, why not? I want Gotham Knights too. I rewatched Gotham Knights. Yes, they did show gameplay for Gotham Knights. The Suicide Squad game does look cool, but it's farther off. It's not coming out till 2022. Troy J. You're just no, I don't want to start a war here. No. I like both. I think in comics you have a lot of variety to do all types of different stories. If you're going to do the films, though, go after a different market, like HBO. HBO does what Disney Plus can't.
Yeah,
too.
Pretty much.
I mean, it makes sense. If you're on HBO Max, take it to the max. Do a more
that volume up to 10.
Because listen, as much. Okay, let's take that other comment by Phobic in Mladen. Yes, DC does not have just dark comics. Marvel just doesn't have family-friendly comics either. They do dark, but you're not getting that from Disney Plus and the movies so far.
No, it's really, really vanilla. I mean,
so they're not doing that on the big screen or small screen. So fill that market instead of competing directly. Yeah, then people that love both are going to have options for adult superhero stuff in the theaters on HBO Max, and where Disney's not going to do it, which is I think it's an absolute shame. Why did I put Deadpool in here? They put him on the back burner. That was successful. Do you know how long? I mean, the campaign for the Snyder Cut is similar to Ryan. Remember how long people campaigned for Ryan Reynolds to get another shot at Deadpool?
Yeah.
Someone had to create a YouTube video to get that done. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
Right. That didn't happen organically. That was Fox seeing the retweets. I think Ryan Reynolds participated in that little.
He got behind it.
Yeah, he got behind it. Someone made the Deadpool. This is how you do it, and that's how it got made. So before the Snyder Cut, that was another thing. I forgot that myself. I'm like, yeah, Deadpool didn't come out naturally, and now look at that. Now we're
kind of like a fan movement with the actor getting behind the project, and
they were gonna make Deadpool 3 or X-Force, and now
it's like The Rock with Black Adam.
All right, Callie. Now it's on the back burner, and they are going. Now Ryan Reynolds is looking at DC again. Really? I mean, there's all kinds of rumors that he might be Hawkman.
I'd be down.
Listen, Mladen, but I think Mladen's trying to prove a point. Logan wasn't Disney. That was Fox. I haven't seen Disney take those risks yet.
Well, I mean, it's like comparing Venom to the MCU. You know what I mean? You're never going to get that level.
All the risks with the Marvel movies or TV series were not Disney themselves. They were Netflix with the series.
Yeah.
And they were 20th Century Fox, which I miss. They were doing their best stuff when they finished. And I have high hopes for New Mutants. I don't think it's going to be garbage. I think it looks great. I mean, I'll be upset if it's I don't like to say anything's.
I'd like to see him incorporate with the MCU going forward after everything's said back and done, and all that good stuff. And some goodwill is regenerated, I want to see the Fantastic Four. Maybe, just maybe, they won't screw it up. You know what I mean? So there's always a hope, right?
All right, here's Phobic. Both are cool to me. DC versus Marvel is old as the hills, but before Man of Steel, DC films were killing it. Man of Steel, I watched Man of Steel again and again, and these films just keep getting better and better for me. They really do. The passion, there's so much emotion. Cavill, man, he really shows the emotion.
Well, I just like the realism because for people who grew up on the Reeves Batmans, like Christopher Reeves, or Supermans, sorry, and on to that the Tim Burton Batmans and the Schumacher ones, it was a complete and total gear shift that I was totally appreciative of with Man of Steel. Because it was a take that you never saw, and that's kind of why I'm interested in seeing the Batman, because it's a different take.
No,
if you try out another Batman again, it's like
no, it looks like it might unsettle me too. Like it's not going to be a comfortable watch, I don't think. Did you see my video earlier?
I got the tail end of it.
All right, so there is a story on Netflix. And I think he's not only taking source material from, hold on, let me get to this comment, from comics, but real life crime. I see this coming a mile away, where they're going to be the media is going to be just as bad as they were for the Joker. And something that I came upon when I was making this video that I found extremely interesting is how much. Oh, let me get this off. So, do you see the thing on that's from the film? You see that thing on his? It's like a collar.
Yeah.
So there was a real life crime like 20 years ago where someone put a collar on someone and it made him rob a bank.
Huh. It's like the collar from the Master of the Universe.
I'm trying to watch my words so it doesn't get demonetized, but it was it was the. So yeah, I mean, but that looks like exactly what they put around his collar, the Riddler. So I believe he is pulling directly from that, and he might have other stuff that are especially if he's going to Detective Comics. Also, in that story, if you ever check it out, it's on Netflix. Evil Genius.
Okay.
They give like clues and stuff too. So. I know. Oh, this is the point I was going to make. People in access media not everyone, they tend to really embrace documentaries or stories that are inspired by real life horrific events, people, bad things. But as soon as you put a fictional character in, it's bad, it's wrong. Did you notice that? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you see where I'm going? As soon as you put a fictional character or superhero, you can't do that. You're gonna inspire madness. But if you do this as a documentary or inspired by real events, then you're celebrated and maybe get an award. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, definitely, because it is kind of bad that superhero movies get a bum rap, because there's a lot of art in that storytelling. I mean, especially with a movie like Watchmen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna get art house with a movie, what the hell, that was pretty damn good.
Warner Media Center says Disney Plus is for. Did they say that? I didn't hear that. I don't know. The other thing is the Mandalorian. I mean, we have Baby Yoda. But if they weren't handcuffed and they were on HBO Max, do you think it'd be better?
Yeah.
Or do you think
they'd be able to get away with a little bit more than you would be able to get away with on being on a kids show?
But it hasn't hurt it so far. But they pull punches a little bit, or they cut away from some action.
Yeah,
and
the difference between primetime television on a normal network and primetime on HBO.
Well, here's the thing too. You would see the Mandalorian take out a robot or an alien, But do you see them doing that to humans all the time? See, this is the difference.
Well, it kind of brings me back to Star Trek a little bit. Since it's been on CBS All Access, they've been able to use a flowery language, a little bit different than what they would do because they were on television and they weren't able to get away with saying stuff like that. And a lot of people were bitching about that because it's like, but that's not how they did it. And it's like, they just weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think in the future it could hurt a little bit. I mean, what Star Wars has always been family friendly though. Although actually George Lucas pushed it the most with the Revenge of the Sith, and then even in A New Hope with Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I remember seeing that as a kid. I was like, whoa, that was the only thing I mean, people don't realize that was in A New Hope.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back still scared me.
Yeah.
Certain parts.
But he got those ratings though.
Yes, he did.
But I think as a character, like the Mandalorian is one more that may benefit from not being handcuffed to the Disney thing. Like if it was just, I mean, and that's why I'm starting to think HBO Max really may have start to get an upper hand. Because if I absolutely think like Matt Jarbo disagrees with me saying the multiverse is a bad idea and continuity and stuff, and I'm like, no, this is the best thing you could do. Don't try to compete with them. Do something completely different. This isn't a comic store. You only have a movie of a character once every 2 years. You can't have multiple versions. Go with your strengths and where you can tell some crazier stories. Phobic Xena. What? Phobic Xena is overrated. Uh-oh, Akancha. Don't no arguing in the chat. Cuppy Malik Akancha, what are you doing? What? All right, I'm gonna ignore those comments. Okay. The mega, that one Carlos. Well, that is your opinion. I respect it. But since D23, we have only got some trailers for Black Widow, TV spots for Disney Plus. Yet DC fandom gave content so many projects. They did give a lot of projects.
I agree. It's like Marvel's gone underground right now.
I mean, but part of the DC thing was because they had no confidence before AT&T stepped in, and then they messed with projects so much.
Yeah.
I mean, some of their content is because they messed it up so bad years ago.
Yeah.
I like Birds of Prey. Brian did not.
I'll have to finish it. I watched about half of it.
No, I think the first half's better than the second half. So if you aren't sure, then
didn't miss anything. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna get Suicide Squad. So that looks a lot.
We're gonna get onto some more movie topics. Keep that in mind that WandaVision, Falcon list. Oh, Mladen's here. Hey, Mladen.
What's happening?
No, I just want to jump in on the conversation.
Oh, you like the conversation?
Yes, I like the conversation. I just want to bring up Marvel not going dark is what has me worried about Moon Knight, because that character is and for Disney Plus. So I'm a little skeptical about Moon Knight on Disney Plus. Also, Blade. That's a dark character, and I don't think you can do a PG-13 Blade.
Yeah, wasn't Blade rated R to begin with?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken, it was also 20th Century Fox.
Yeah. The other thing that's concerning is before. Okay, let's bring up the thumbnail here. Oh, darn it! Sorry. No, that's the wrong one. Before they canceled put Deadpool 3 on the back burner, what did they try? A PG-13 release Deadpool. They revived. Did you know they did that and released it in the theater?
It wasn't very good. It's the one you watch on TV.
Right. So
yes, I know about the PG-13, but that was for the second one where Deadpool.
Why do you think they did that? To test the waters. I mean, you don't think? Do you believe Disney was involved with that decision?
Maybe the second one, yes, but
the second one, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they did. They're like, can you get him ready, maybe in case we want to use him? You know?
Yeah, to see if we could do multiple versions. Let me see. Also, I mean, if it ever appears on Disney Plus, they could edit stuff out of Deadpool. People would get really pissed on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Here's let me see.
It'd be like McClunky. Ooh.
Let me see. Okay, the Marvel shows are darker than the TV shows, by the way, on average. Well, the CW shows, they're not as dark. No. They're not. The Marvel shows, are you basing that on the Netflix stuff?
Well,
because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is dark after season 3. They went a little darker route.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
I finished all 7 seasons, and I'm happy that I did. Now we don't have any dark stuff from Marvel.
Obi-Wan has a good question here. What do you think of Riddler's appearance in the trailer? Looks kind of odd to me. Yes, I am battling. The one thing I am battling with that is the typical appearance of these villains, and I don't know if I really like the Joker. There's many different versions of him, but there's no mistaking the Joker.
Yeah.
If they make him look too normal, evil genius, like someone that could actually exist in the real world, that's a villain, will be like even the way the Penguin look, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Like I am struggling with that. I'm like, do I really want to see though? The reason I'm like, okay, let's see it through is, do I really want to see a Jim Carrey Riddler in this movie? It wouldn't fit.
No.
Is there somewhere in the middle that might work? Possibly. That the actor that plays him, what's his name? Dano. He's a good actor.
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano. Yes. Yeah. So I'm not like, oh, that's the best way to show that character. But I'm willing to see it through. Now the Catwoman, Grace. I did a reaction to Grace. I think she was wrong. I mean, I think she looked fine. If she's starting burgling, I don't know, being a burglar, cat burglar, she has room to grow and get a costume down the line. That's a good question, though, Obi-Wan.
I think the mask is the problem, not the rest of the part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Like some of these villains,
yeah, of course,
they're really taking a realistic, like these could be real people, crazy people in the world. Is that good? Or I mean, for better or for worse, that's what you're getting in this film. So I have to see. I like the Scarecrow in Batman Begins. I like the Joker.
Yeah.
I liked all the Jokers we got so far.
I liked Two-Face on Dark Knight was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was creepy. That one. That one was, unfortunately, that's the one thing I didn't like about the Dark Knight is he did not get enough of Two-Face as Two-Face.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was pretty disappointing. His arc, he had an interesting arc from being Harvey Dent, but then once it changed, that his ending was pretty lame. Where I think it would have been more interesting to have him deal with it and then be another villain in the third movie.
Yeah.
Like maybe he didn't turn, he's sitting in his hospital bed, had time to think about everything that went wrong and snap that way. Like the snap went so quick that
it was kind of hard to get behind.
After years of dealing with being that, losing everything, being scarred for life, blaming Bruce. I think time would have done to that character a lot more justice. And Aaron Eckhart is a wonderful actor.
Oh yeah, I loved him in that movie. Thank You for Not Smoking.
Yeah. Yes, you're right, Phobic, but that wasn't Disney. That was Netflix again.
That was Netflix.
Yeah, those are some gems. I don't.
Jones,
do you see that? Do you see that? Can we honestly say, hey, Disney's going to work on a new Punisher franchise, a new series or movie? I don't see them working on that anytime soon. Or they would do Deadpool first. I could see possibly Daredevil, but then people would be comparing it to that series too. multiverse is a bad idea, and they're trying to say it's an official thing. Why? Why is it a bad idea? If they execute it,
I think it's a bad idea because you're going to confuse the
general public,
normal view, the general public, normal views.
Yeah, there is that possibility. Matt does. I do agree with him there. But for me, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I don't mind.
What's wrong with the multiverse? That just how Phobic and Mladen said it can be very confusing to the general public.
Well, especially when you're used to, like, Marvel's got a certain set of stories and they all come out at a certain time. You know what I mean? So it's easy to get behind the continuity on that. So with DC, especially as of late, where they course correct a bunch of times, it's really hard to get behind and follow a certain storyline. And I'm glad that they decided to pick a direction and stick with it. So hopefully they keep it up.
The Cell 111, the supers I want to see in upcoming Marvels are Black Panther, Monica. I don't know who Monica is. Dr. Voodoo. Maybe
Monica Rambeau.
Oh, okay. Maybe reboot Luke Cage. And that's one reason I'm excited. I think that was a perfect Luke Cage too. I just think his series wasn't as good as the other series. The guy that played Luke Cage. Yeah, smash the hell out of it. And then while you're at it, go check out Snowdub. He's getting close to 1K. We're gonna have a real puppet party when that happens.
Cotton Connection.
Yes. Phobic says here, what's wrong with the multiverse? If there is no multiverse, it's just an excuse to keep doing what DC has been doing since the first DC film was made. Well, fair points, Phobic. We'll have to see how they execute it. It's all execution. They're finally showing some confidence. They still have to execute.
Well, for me, I like the positive for me with them explaining the multiverse. It kind of explains why there's so many different iterations of Batman. I mean, whether they're 5 now or something like that, there's been a lot.
Like if someone tried to do the same type of Batman like Ben Affleck now with the same type, I would be bored. And then what's the point? You got to come in with something fresh. We're at a weird point now than we've never been before, where you're getting multiple versions of characters so often. You have to do something different. You have to.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they'll do with Sony will do with Tom Holland when he comes back as Spider-Man, and not connecting MCU continuity and the Venomverse or whatever the hell they're calling it. You know,
I do want to see Tom or Hardy go up against Holland.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think it's going to happen.
I mean, who doesn't like the symbiote costume as well? I mean,
yeah, Sickness. Thanks for the support. I appreciate that. 22 people here at only 9 likes. You'd be real disappointed to know how many people actually watch your videos and how many people actually leave a comment or do any rating at all. Really, being a creator, it can be frustrating. So thanks for that support there. After this is live, leave a comment. I'd like to see it.
Do you want to hear my theory about Tom Holland's Spider-Man 3?
Yes. I'm bringing in Prime too.
What's up, Prime?
Hello, Prime.
What's up?
I think they are going to kill off Peter Parker and replace it with Miles Morales.
Okay.
In the third one.
I'm not sure. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I think that's an interesting way to take it. I just don't know what the contract is, because I know they have to keep making Spider-Man films every few years or it goes back to Marvel. So I don't know if that means they actually have to have Peter Parker or it's just Spider-Man universe films. I don't know. Well, Prime, here's what the main topic of the show was. Remember you're a gamer. You remember the old Sega versus Nintendo? Sega does what Nintendo don't. DC does what Disney don't. Why do I say Disney, not Marvel? Because there's a big difference between Marvel and Disney Marvel. And that's where I see, not that all DC comics are dark, but why compete and be second fiddle when they already have the market? You'll always be compared with them. I think they're showing strength after Joker and this new vision of Robert Pattinson as Batman. Like, if someone was saying, if someone was like, I want DC to go more family friendly in the past and had a problem with Snyder, Matt Reeves just said, "Hold my beer. Look at this. Look at this aggressive dark tone of my trailer." So I mean, they're embracing the darkness. I do understand though, if you have a kid or something, this is not. You're not going to say to your kid, "Let's go see the." I mean, some parents might, and I'm not going to judge you, but you know, this isn't a family friendly Batman that's coming up with. What's your thoughts there?
Well, I've been saying this for years. Can everybody hear me good?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Like I said, I've been saying this for years. The differentiation between other studios compared to Disney, and like I always stated, is that Disney. I'm not saying Disney is bad, but Disney. You have to remember, Disney only goes for one particular audience. They only make movies for 13-year-olds and below in China. That's it. And you got to remember, China don't take movies that are really rated R. They don't. They try to really censor those movies. I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know if y'all remember how serious it was. It's just now since y'all talking about it, and it just dawned on my head. Remember Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Now that movie, there was a Bruce Lee scene in there.
Yeah.
Remember, China wasn't going to air the movie until they took it out. They had to take the Bruce Lee stuff out.
Wow.
And
Once
Quentin
upon a time in
said,
Hollywood?
yeah, Quentin said, "Fuck that! I ain't taking shit out," and he didn't take it out. So they didn't get the movie over there. That's why I said there are movies because of China, and Disney does that so they can get that money. They don't allow it. They don't allow the art to flourish fully, so they stay in one genre. That's all they do. That's why I tell.
Yeah.
Let me finish the point, and that's why I tell people when it come down to Marvel movies, y'all are shortchanged. Don't get me wrong. I like Marvel stuff too. I'm a comic fan. Okay. Marvel has made serious comics and books as well.
Yeah.
But ever since Marvel has gotten bought by Disney, yes, they made good movies in the MCU. But you're never going to get movies like Logan. You're not going to get Blade. You're not going to get that Dark Phoenix. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get those serious movies no more when Fox had them. It's not going to happen. So you better cherish those movies. Now the people and all those Spider-Man fans saying they want a real serious Spider-Man movie, the only way you're going to get that unless Sony get out their ass and they decide to make a serious movie. And that's the only hope they got for a Marvel character.
I just kind of want Sony to take back Spider-Man. I mean, it's fun for a while, but it's also he can only go certain places too in his character arc.
I think they might after the third one. So we know they sell their differences because of the third movie. We don't know what's gonna happen after that one.
I mean, people just have to really, really look for what it's worth in this business.
Michael S. is a Disney fan. He's a younger viewer too. He says all Disney has to do is make those dark movies through Fox. I've heard this scenario, but they haven't executed on it yet. Until they do it, I will commend them if they do it. But I mean, Deadpool 3 was a sure thing.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
Let me. I like to cut you off back before you keep on going while I got the thought.
Okay.
That's never going to happen. If everybody been paying attention, all Fox properties, they've already shortchanged them. New Mutants was supposed to be rated R. Why do you think the movie took so long to come out? Disney took ahead and did reshoots and cut the stuff down. That's why the movie is only going to be PG-13. New Mutants was supposed to be rated R.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was supposed to be rated R.
I remember that.
You people, y'all got to remember, they bought Fox. So every single thing that's a Fox property, they've already tainted them. If y'all go to Disney Plus and y'all watch some of the Fox stuff, why do you think all the Simpsons shows are not the same? Yeah. They altered them.
And they took
some of the stuff out the shows.
Yeah.
Like Splash the movie, if y'all remember that. Splash the movie back in the 80s was PG. They're going to blur out the part when she's going into the water when her hair is covering her butt. So to make sure that they don't see no part of the butt, they blurred it out. Everything that they bought from Fox, they are altering it. They are taking everything away. That's what I'm saying. Y'all have to look for what it's worth. Y'all are never going to get a super, super serious Star Wars. That's why Star Wars is the way that it is. You're never going to get it. As long as Disney holds that and they stick to the way they play, the way they work, you're never going to get a serious movie. You're never going to get an R movie. You're not going to get it. You can chalk it up. It's never going to happen.
They're saying Miramax movies are radar, but I don't see a lot of new content going. Hey, if they do it, I think Prime is right. But I hope they will.
No,
I don't think they never.
I looked all dejected. I was just like,
this is the thing that's going to let everybody know how Disney and how their company works. The only movie, hold on, let me take this off here. The only movie from the Marvel panel when they announced it, don't get me wrong, they're going to have some good stuff, but they having their own problems. Okay? The only movie that I was looking forward to after they bought Fox was Blade. And once I found out that Fox got Blade, once Disney got Fox, after they announced Blade, once they got it, we're not going to get an R-rated Blade. Why do you think Deadpool 3 is not in the work no more? They can't negotiate. They want it to be rated R. Disney saying, hell no.
Poindexter Lounge and some others are saying Mando is serious. But you have to think, though, he's only really mostly taking out stormtroopers that have a helmet on, or aliens or droids.
Yeah.
You know what? Mandalorian is good. I'm not going to take that away.
But, yeah.
He got a point there. So Mandalorian is good. So
but
I don't take that away.
But imagine though, Mandalorian on HBO Max. Would it be a different thing? Is it shackled a little bit down the road where it could go with the Bounty Hunter series? I'm not saying the Jedi, a Bounty Hunter series.
Yeah, that would be super serious. That would be killing, blood, all that. Yeah. But they're not going to show blood in no Disney.
That's how you get away with it with Star Wars. Is everyone that you do is wearing a helmet. Well, actually, George Lucas, they did cut off.
There was a dismembering thing going on there.
Yeah, Anakin. So George did push the envelope there. I haven't seen Disney push that envelope though.
Right? No, there wasn't any dismemberments in those movies.
There was what?
There wasn't. Nobody lost an arm.
Yeah, where's all the limbs going flying everywhere?
Yeah. You gotta remember at that time when Star Wars came out, that was late 70s, early 80s. So you got to go with the times. So if we think about it, I'm not saying all the Star Wars movies are bad.
Stormtroopers are people with helmets on. That's how
Stormtroopers are.
But that's how you get away with it though. Poo poo poo. Laser. You don't actually see blood squirt. You just see
You see a burn mark and they fall.
Yeah, you see a burn mark. Yeah. So Star Wars is what it is.
Phobias getting hot. Flood makes movies legit. No, that's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
No, that's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is that Disney, you have to look for what it's worth. You're not going to get the real serious, really real grimy stuff that you want.
He's saying, Jason, this is a hot topic. Jason says,
Thor was, yes, even though he was beheaded,
you didn't see it.
Do it. Because remember, they just showed him do it. They didn't show him chop it off.
No, you didn't see
it. He just chopped it off in his head. You didn't see all that. You didn't see it. They didn't show nothing with the blood. They didn't show it. They weren't going to do that. They pushed the brink to PG-13 to the top. If it was rated R, you would have saw Thor.
Why are you talking about Avatar, Snow Dumb? No, the Thanos snapping, that was legit. But I think that's to the extent, that's as far as you're going to see it be pushed. I'm just we're not bashing Marvel here. I think
it's no General Zod. You know what I mean?
No, we're just saying that now that there's a confidence that Warner Media has injected into the DC films, you see what's being announced, what's being worked on. Even the Suicide Squad, John Cena's character and that panel, they said he's excessively violent.
Yep.
How often do you hear them describing characters from Marvel that way? Even if they do go, even if Thanos did, he snapped, but they all turned to dust. That's you don't see that. It's not a bad thing either. I'm just saying, this isn't a comic book shop. You only have a Batman movie every 2 years or something like that. You can have multiple versions of character in a shop. You got to focus. I do feel bad for the families that want to give their, give to the younger generations Batman and Superman, they're gonna have to wait to see this stuff. They are gonna have to wait. There's no way.
Yeah. That's why I say the panel that I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to on September 12th for DC is going to be the Kids verse, because that's what they're going to, because you got to remember, that's why the multiverse is going to be so important, because it's going to be all different types of material for all types of audience. So you're going to have the serious stuff. You're going to have the stuff that's for like the middle, for the middle ones, that don't like all the serious stuff. They like the cheese. Then you're going to have the stuff that's for the kids. So they're going to have everything all tied together. Yeah. So look at you when
Well, I just mean by this that there's a big opportunity with HBO Max. I'm really starting to see it now. Like I was before, and especially since DC, I bought DC Universe. I got it from the beginning. That was a mistake. I mean, I loved it from the shows, but I spent way more than I should have for that, for that service. But now that it's merged with the HBO Max, and can you imagine them doing a DC series that's on the level of intensity of Game of Thrones? You're not going to see that with a Disney Marvel series.
Nah, it's that's why I say it depends on. That's why I say Disney is not going to touch that stuff.
Right.
It's just not. They're not going to do it.
But you could have something that intense and adult driven in DC on HBO Max. You could.
Exactly. You can go. They don't care. It doesn't matter. It can go strictly to. You can go off the chain on that. You can go off the chain with any movie with Warner. So what I'm saying is that they don't have no restrictions on content. There's no restrictions.
I don't mean to. Let me go back.
I was going to point out, Enosh, says Thanos was not a villain. He was a farmer.
Yeah. Okay, so if Disney sees profit to be made in RMUs, then they will make them. Okay, that's fair. If DC makes a lot, but I want to see the attempt though. They Mladen did have a good point when he came in here. He's a fan of Moonknight, and he's concerned that they're not going to go stick close to the character's origins on that series, and they are making a Blade. I think that's going to be where you're really going to see it. Are they going to see? We'll bring Prime back when it actually comes out. Is it going to be our?
I'm gonna answer this homie's question. All right, I understand you're a Disney person. You're a Marvel fan. I'm not hating you on that. Okay, if Disney makes a movie that comes out rated R, I'll eat crow. Okay. But I will never eat crow because I'm always right about that. My facts break back. Disney is never going to make an R-rated movie. And if you really think they're going to make an R-rated movie, keep on dreaming, because it ain't happening. All right? It ain't happening. That's a fact.
It'll be done through a subsidiary.
Right. It's not happening. They got all these new properties right now. I'm going to give you an example. Doctor Strange, why you think they getting rid of all these directors? They was trying to go into the lore of Doctor Strange. Okay? Doctor Strange is supposed to be deep. It's supposed to be very, very serious. No. Bye-bye. They don't want to go with the full, the real material from the books. They don't want to do that. They want to keep it the way that they want to keep it. That's why they're having problems making Doctor Strange.
Well, so they can interact with so it's not just Doctor Strange, so you could have the other heroes in it.
You got the other one. Blade is gonna have a problem. Deadpool 3 got a problem. That's why they ain't doing nothing. If you think they're gonna make a rated R movie and you're not, and you don't know Disney's history and what they do, you better do your research, bro.
But no, they're not Disney proper, but
research.
They're gonna do it through an intermediary, though. I mean, it just makes no sense. What are you gonna stop making diehards? It's a cash cow.
Well, I mean, we have to see them actually do it, though. There's a lot of talk. I haven't seen them do it yet. Everything I hear is just big blockbuster general audience so far. We haven't seen them pull anything out, and they were the big
money in the theaters nowadays.
Yeah,
nobody's paying to go see that anymore.
This may be what's very interesting is before the pandemic, Disney was the king at the box office, and now also, and I'm not just a DC fanboy, viewers. I'm just saying I want Marvel and Disney to succeed too. but I really think this is Warner Brothers' year, and they are saying
is.
on all their trailers, they're saying only in theaters. They're sticking to it. And I was the one that said they should maybe consider Wonder Woman VOD. They're saying nope. They are saying no way. That was a strong message on Fandom. Every single one. They didn't have to put that at all, really. They didn't even give a release date. But the one thing they say is you're only going to see this in the theater. They're not seeing this in HBO Max.
Yeah.
Part of the theaters are starting to open back up now. So with the theaters starting to open back up now, hey, you know, I'm going
back
to the
in
theater.
business.
Yeah,
he's not. Michael S. He's not saying Disney's bad. He's just saying the strength. It's actually a strength of Disney is they're family friendly. But you're if you want to, DC's going a different route, which makes sense for them.
Yeah.
Don't compete directly. Okay, Milan, go ahead.
I just want to contribute what Prime said. Yes, they don't want to go dark with the movies. What do you think Scott Derrickson left? He wanted Doctor Strange 2 to have more horror elements. And they fired him, I think, because of it. That's just my speculation. And also, what I want to bring up, Disney is not bad, but they don't want to risk an R-rated movie because I think if you remember, Black Cauldron was a pretty dark movie and it got them bankrupt. I think that has something to do with it, and also laziness in Kevin Feige's part, because if they wanted to make an R-rated Marvel MCU film, they had plenty of chances to do, but they didn't.
All right. Thanks for the. Go ahead.
I mean, what he just said, he made a solid point right there. How many movies out of 10 years did Marvel make? How many movies in the MCU?
20 or something like that.
22. There's 22, and every single one of them is PG-13. Not one rated R. Not one.
They don't want to mess with it until they have a reason to. Really,
right.
There's no incentive for them to take a risk, especially when this is a strength of not doing United Universe, cinematic universe, and do multiverse. Is you could say, this. Because once you combine characters, which helps you get the box office, Captain America's in there. This can't be rated R. You know, you can't. Spider-Man's in this. This can't be rated R. I mean, Spider-Man and Deadpool together would be amazing.
But that's the market that Disney has made for their people. That's why I always said that people are conditioned. They got to condition to be that way. So if people start thinking that way, that's how they think. Was created so Disney.
Well, Miramax is created so Disney can make, but they're not taking that risk with the big box office popcorn films, though. They're
not using Miramax in the recent years or at all.
Well, I just don't see
any new content.
I would applaud them if they do. Listen, I'll be first in line to say, way to go, Disney. And I'm not against Disney anymore. I used to boycott Star Wars. Not anymore, since people are losing jobs. I'm like, I want people to get back in entertainment. I want everyone to have their jobs, including Disney. I'm not against them anymore. I don't foresee if as soon as they do, will you? To be fair, Prime, if they do it, will you give them the shout out? Will you be like, hey man, Disney, that's a good thing. You're going to make a radar Blade.
I mean,
not that it has to be, but it most likely.
No, Blade has to be R. It has to be R. It cannot be lore. You have to understand the lore and the actual. I'm a Blade fan.
Okay.
With me being a Blade fan, I know the material. It has to be R.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that, look, if Disney comes out and they decide that they're going to make a rated R movie, hey, more power to you. I will eat crow. But I know Disney's history. I know the company. I know the business. I know what they're about. I know what they're going to stay on. Disney, and I just said at the key point, you have to understand, Disney makes movies for 13-year-olds and below. They're family oriented, and they make them for China. Why do you think they make so much money? They cater to that demographic so they can make the money.
They know their audience.
Right. So, for instance, let's just say, Joker was not in China. It made over $1 billion only in the U.S. Mm-hmm. You have to remember, they don't make most of their profits in the United States. I'm talking about Disney. They make most of their profits overseas.
Yeah.
They make most of their profits overseas. Look it up. It's there. That's why they do it. So, and at the same time, as long as they keep that demographic where you can have everybody go to your movies, because everybody don't go to a rated R movie. They just don't. An average family person, a mother, a father, they got children. They're not going to take their kids to a rated R movie. I'm not saying all, but majority are not going to take their children to a rated R movie. They're going to take them to a PG-13 movie, and that's that. And that's what Disney does. I'm not saying it's a bad method, but they do hold restraints for them to make the certain material. So, hey, I like Disney too. I'm not crapping on them, but they have their way of doing their business and what they're going to do.
They have their place in the market, and it's been well established. They've been laying that track down for a long time. And there's no sense in getting off that track, you know.
Especially after this, I think they're going to be safer than it used to be because there's never been this long a time between Marvel movies, never, since they started.
Oh, let's give everybody a chance to breathe after Endgame.
They're not going to, if they do take a chance, it's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think.
I would say this, Max, since the theaters are opening back up and when they did the stuff with Mulan, okay, Mulan's going to make some money. We already know why, because of China, because the theaters are open over there and Mulan they're going to make money over there. Over here, all like that is not going to do as great. When they decide their moneymaker, when everything starts back up, that's why they didn't budge on Black Widow yet. They're not going to budget. Once all this stuff, I would say probably, this is just a theory because the theaters are open. Because I know Tenet and Wonder Woman 84 about to hit right now. And everybody is about to go to the theaters and go see it. If once they see that, they're going to throw Black Widow in that theater and people are going to go see it. Trust me, Black Widow going to make money. Don't think that it ain't. It's going to make money. Those Marvel fans are going to go see it. So, because a lot of people, why? They like Scarlett Johansson. It's just simple. So they're going to it's going to make money once they hit the theater. So it's going to be there. But they're waiting for the right time to go ahead and throw it in there and hit it.
Yeah. We're not rooting against Disney here. No one is.
No one is. You know, Enosh. Like I just said, there's some parents that are going to take their kids to rated R movies, but the majority they do not. I'm
saying DC is in a unique opportunity now, a unique position, especially with especially with HBO Max. That's maybe why they're taking off the shackles. We're having a multiverse. Do what you want. It doesn't have to tie together. And you have an HBO Max to put it on. You're going to see stuff on HBO Max that you're not going to see on Disney Plus. Listen, HBO Max, Netflix, we were afraid for Netflix before the pandemic. They've actually been going up in subscribers. So the big three, and Amazon's got to come bring it soon.
Amazon will be fine as of next month.
Okay.
Because Hunters is very, very good. You got to remember.
In Boys season 2.
The Boys coming out next month. So you got to remember that. And then the only thing with Amazon right now is that, like I say, they have exclusive content on Amazon. What they're trying to do right now is that they're trying to get those extensive deals. That's why they're having problems with HBO Max, because for people to get those subscriptions with Amazon. So that's why you can get stars and stuff like that through Amazon. They don't have it with HBO Max. They don't have it. So they're having all these negotiation problems. That's what they're trying to do, so they can have that money, have that percentage from using a platform with HBO Max. I don't think HBO Max gonna budge. They're not gonna do it. I mean, Warner Media is not gonna do it. So whatever Amazon is asking for, I don't think they're going to do it. If they do, great. But I don't think they're going to do it because they're fine. So Amazon just got to push out their exclusives, and they got good exclusives. Hunters is real good. Of course, you got The Boys, so check it out. So I mean, hey, it's to each his own for everybody what they want to do and which subscription that they want.
Yeah, but HBO Max with the actually just combining the DC universe and all that is really a good price right now too. Like I'm not paying any more.
DC Universe is about to go bye-bye. Because because all the shows are transferring over to the new platforms. So like Stargirl and all those light-hearted shows are going to the CW. Everything else is going to HBO Max. DC Universe is only going to be for the comics, which is great by me because that's what I use it for anyway. It's for the books. So that's what DC Universe is being used for now. So that $8 a month that you're going to be paying for just to read it just numerous of comics, that's a good deal. I think a lot of people, that's a very, very good deal. So you cannot beat that. So hey, it is what it is. Hey, it looks like if everything's panning out good.
Phobic. Miramax is a defunct company, bro. They haven't made movies in freaking years, man. Let it go. They got Touchstone, 20th Century. There's other things that can release it. Quit dropping Miramax. Miramax was the Weinstein company.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I'm trying to tell him he's a Disney.
Well, I mean,
so
no,
he's
I mean they could, but I haven't seen anything recently. And if it is, it's just like it's more like a award contender. It's not you're not going to see these risks with the big popcorn films that make the $1 billion.
No, they're
not yet. I mean, we'll have to see. I think Prime has good points. I think you guys have good points too. They have ways to do it, but are they going to do it? That's the proof is in if they actually execute on it. They have an opportunity to do it, or just do another tier of Disney Plus grown-ups. I don't know what the hell to call it, but do a thing where they can't access that content, kids. That's what I would do if I was in charge.
That's the thing. I mean, Max, you got a point there. If Disney decides to be like, you know what, we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to expand and go out of our comfort zone to an extent to get this other demographic. Because right now they don't have it. They don't. They have one set demographic. When you got people, trust me, if you want to get like the crowd that like blood and like all that stuff like that, Disney don't give that. Disney is not going to get that crowd. They're just not going to get that. If you want to have cussing and sex and all that stuff like that, you're not going to get that crowd. You're not.
Well, here's I had some other articles come. Henry Cavill is in the seat to get makeup done for Witcher 2. This is like, as we go more into streaming, you are going to see the advantages of Netflix and HBO Max having more. There's just they don't censor anything. The streaming market is easier to have more mature content without dealing with theaters and ratings.
Exactly.
Yeah, they still have ratings, they still have suggestions, but I mean, when you only have to click a button and it's on your TV, it's a lot more accessible than taking the family to the theater. It's just heading that way for me.
I mean, some movies gotta be at the box office, but what you saying, Max, is there because, like I say, Netflix done raised the bar because they've been having a whole bunch of
that
in series. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
look at this.
Yeah,
that's intense. Like, that's not a PG-13. Witcher.
Witcher off the hook. So I mean, for people that really want to get into all
what's up with that dog? Oh, poor doggy. Look at that dog. He wears a pillow.
Yeah, it's a pillow.
Oh, that's how I feel like the chat's beating me up.
I mean, sometimes the people in the chat, they're not knowledgeable. So sometimes, they're not knowledgeable. They let their emotions take over and don't look up stuff and try to find stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Just like what whatchamacallit just said, Miramax ain't made a movie in ages. They're not going to do anything.
Well, okay, let's examine the scenario though. I was trying to move on, but I'll give you the scenario phobic. What if you see Miramax making a Marvel movie for Disney?
No.
Radar?
No.
And then they couldn't put the Marvel
No, it's not happening. The only one, because Marvel is basically, the MCU was all Disney. That's what the MCU is. That's why the MCU has its own studio, and it's all controlled by Disney. So, you know,
why are you going into the rip-off? What do you mean,
Matt Jarbo?
What do you mean rip-off Matt Jarbo?
He's talking about me, man.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. He's fine. I mean, I'm not mad at him.
I like The Witcher. I thought that was legit.
There you go. So basically, right now, he told on himself.
Yeah,
he's a Disney fan. He doesn't like real serious content. He just told on himself. So what I'm saying is that he's entitled to what it is that he likes, but he's not knowledgeable when it comes down to the business. Just like Sickness says, yes, Disney has their market. Ain't nobody shit.
If they do it, they have to do a clear differentiation between the regular Marvel content and more adult stuff. And there should be another tier or a way where kids can't, because once you see that Marvel logo on a film, you know, it's like a Disney. It's like watching the Disney castle.
Yeah,
that's what you get when you see a Marvel. You didn't see that on the Netflix series.
Well, it's like the Amico compared to the other gaming systems that are out there. You know what I mean? They know what their market is, their target audience.
And I like the Amico.
You know what I mean? So
it's like
I figured I'd tie it in there for you, Max.
Right, but that analogy is a good thing you brought that up, because that's how Nintendo was before they actually expanded out. Because Nintendo know that they have their base. That's why they was always third. Nintendo.
That's why I left Nintendo.
Right. I like Nintendo too, but Nintendo
doesn't
going to be third because they
don't make mature stuff themselves.
They don't make mature stuff, and they never had third party stuff after the entertainment system. They went back to it now with the Switch because they know that, you know what, for us to be in this game, we have to expand and let third party games be on our platform. They have to.
This chat is getting fun.
They have to let third party games be on their platform, and that's what they're doing, and that's why the Nintendo Switch is doing what it's doing. Because
Brian, are you a leftist?
I'm like, well, I was at one point in time, but not too much anymore.
I don't care. I hate politics. I don't want to talk about politics.
I'm like kind of laughing at it. It's like, guys,
we're talking about freedom of speech and artistic expression, and then we're leftists. We're having violent moves.
Politics is booty.
Don't get into that on
it happened last time on stream. I'm like, no, you just chill out, man. Don't go down that road.
My little madman is showing how legit he is. He loves Tarantino, Breaking Bad, Mindhunters, Rick and Morty, The Shining, Halloween, The Dark Knight. Shall I continue? Game of Thrones.
That's good. That's good. That's very, very good. You know, like I said, all I can tell the gentleman is that you're entitled to like what you like. That's absolutely fine. All I can tell you, brother, is that go ahead and do your homework, do your research on the company that you love. If you like Disney like that, ain't nobody knocking down Disney. We're just letting you is they have a business, and with their business practices, they're going to stick to what they know. Okay, if it ain't broke, they're not going to try to change it.
Right. As long as they're getting billions at the box office, they're not going to change.
They're not going to change.
Now, if DC becomes very successful, like with the next Batman, just like they did with the Joker, and their profit margins are actually far superior. Look, Joker was a game changer, not because it just made the billion, because the profit margin in there is probably the most profitable comic book movie ever.
No, it's the most profitable rated R. It's the first rated R movie in all time to reach over $1 billion.
Okay.
It's the first.
I mean, it's possible that even for like the production budget of other comic book movies, because of the small budget, that it might have been more profitable too than Avengers. Look, you know how many to pay each actor in Avengers, all those special effects. I don't know. I mean, I can't state that for a fact.
Their contracts is very, very big. That whole team. So, like I said, what they made from the Avengers and stuff like that, they're good. That's why I said Disney made money. That's why I'm wondering how in the world would they bankrupt. But hey, I don't follow what their books say. I'm just looking at the profit margins on what they made. You know what I mean? So from them making the big profits from their movies, that's just their movies. Okay, so that's just the movie part. Now, when it comes down to everything else, okay, DC is more profitable. They make way more. See, that's the thing which people don't know. Y'all can everybody in here, they can look it up. DC makes more money than Marvel. From their comics, from their branding. Okay, everybody just looking at the Marvel movies. No, they may be profitable in the movies, but when it come down to the branding, DC got way more. From the books, you got the games, you got the wardrobe, you got the toys, you got the cartoons, the animated movies. They got way more stuff that they make profit on than Marvel. You know, and people just think Marvel.
I like your point of view. I'm not sure on that because I do see a lot of products, but the DC comics themselves, they're firing people lately.
No, they fired it because they fired now under the terms with that under DC there they fired 600 employees, which is very, very huge. But the reason why they're doing that because AT&T took over, and I see what they're doing. I stated this on the on my last stream. Like I say, I'm a comics guy, so I'm into that business genre. What it is, AT&T only did it because they're about making the money. So all the comic books that were actually that were not making money, they disbanded those. So if they're not making money, they're just going to cut it. There's no point of just keep on putting in money in a dead horse and we're not making a profit. Get rid of it and then just keep the stuff that we're making money on. So just to make it short, they're in the digital market now. They're going to make everything digital. If those books that's digital make money, they will make those books into graphic novels. You can go to the comic book store and get those books that's so great digital format and buy it as a graphic novel. If they don't make a lot of money on digital, they're not losing any money because why? They don't have to deal with publishing. They don't have to deal with paper. They ain't got to deal with covers. They ain't got to worry about distribution. They ain't got to worry about that no more because it's already on digital. They just write it, they digitalize it, they load it up to a hard drive and up to the web. You go get it, you read it. That's it. If you don't, that's it. Because they're cutting out a lot of stuff. They'll make the books. If those digital ones that you already put up, they will make a book for it for all the OGs like us that like books. I like books. I like graphic novels, but I read the digitals too. But if they're going to make it to the graphic novel, and then they'll make money. So I like the format that they're doing. That's what the reason why they did it. So AT&T is about money. So,
well, I don't know what you mean. The sell with Jennifer Lopez? Is that what you're talking about?
Let me see the sale though.
I don't know what he's talking about. That's an old movie. Like I don't see.
Oh yeah, the sale is old.
I mean, I'm trying to think if that's what you're talking about. I mean, that wasn't like Disney. If Disney had anything to do with it, it wasn't like Disney castles and stuff in front of the main screen. That's what we're saying. You're not going to see that's what we're trying to say. I don't know if it's coming across to the viewers is that you're not going to see that type of
no. It's just they're thinking
film.
we're blindly hating Disney. It's
you're not going to see that with a popcorn Marvel movie. Maybe not yet. If DC this is where this is a unique position for DC. These fans that have been growing up on the MCU, suddenly you get a darker, edgier DC comics in the theaters now and on streaming. People are getting older too. It's a little more. It's going for it. They're pushing the boundaries. DC's pushing the boundaries. If DC starts to get bigger box office, then you might see Disney reevaluate. But then they're going to have to take a risk. Are they going to take a risk? I don't know. That's where you'd see them start to examine it. Is DC start to overwhelmingly do much better at the box office, which some of my viewers here will not think is going to happen, but it's possible. I really think the Batman with Robert Pattinson is. I think people are going to be talking about it, and it's going to be doing just good, just like the Joker. And I don't think it's like a huge budget. It doesn't look like it's got a huge budget.
You know, I would tell the ones like this, let them have their opinion. They're entitled to it. But I would say this: if the ones that's out there saying that they're not put it like this, oh my God, I don't know if I'm saying this. They need to realize this: the DCEU was more profitable than Marvel in their first couple of movies. That's a fact. And on top of that, if you're thinking that Zack Snyder's Justice League is not going to be profitable, you got another thing coming. If you think Wonder Woman 84 is not going to be profitable, you got another thing coming. If you think the Suicide Squad is not going to be profitable, you got another thing coming.
Well, the Wonder Woman, that's the most that's similar to the Marvel kind of formula.
To the formula, yes.
Because, that and Aquaman, yeah.
Right. What Aquaman, no. James Wan, if they watch the panel, if you watch the panel, on DC Fandom, James Wan said that they're going to go serious for part 2. So they're going to go more of the lore of more of the actual books.
I'm addressing your comments, Phobic. I'm saying, okay, they've done that in the past, Miramax or the Cell or whatever. I'm just saying I haven't seen it done with like a Star Wars or a Marvel, like the stuff that they spent the billions getting, those properties. I haven't seen any. I mean, I'm also interested if they bring Alien back. How are they going to do that?
He's saying one-sided. The facts is there, my guy. There's nothing one-sided about anything. We're not knocking nothing. We're telling you the actual facts and what is actually.
I mean, I'm willing to have lots of people on.
Right. So I just like to comment. Listen,
okay.
I'm both. I like DC and I like Marvel. I like some things DC does, and I like something Marvel does. But I also hate certain movies in the MCU. Example, Thor Ragnarok. I hate that movie with a passion. What they did with Thor, I hate it. I hate it.
Oh,
I don't want to yell, but I really do.
And good thing you brought that up, fam, because Thor Ragnarok, if you read the book, that is a very serious book.
Yeah.
And the people that knows Thor and that read the book, it rubbed them the wrong way because that wasn't Thor Ragnarok. Why? They changed the narrative to get an audience. They made it into a comedy. And that's the reason why I got reviews. They made it into a comedy. I read Thor Ragnarok. I'm not even a Thor fan all like that, and I read the book. And that book is that book is serious as hell. It ain't nothing but killing and blood in that. And they changed the whole story.
I don't know why we're talking about the cell.
And
The cell
for the Planet Hulk.
Oh, the Cell's one of the commenters in the stream.
Oh, I didn't see.
The Cell 111.
Okay. Sorry.
That's
I
what
thought you were
they're
talking about
about.
the cell the movie.
Sorry, I've been reading the chat. I'm just like,
Okay. The
It's
Disney
all
makes more money than DC, WB, and AT&T. AT&T is more trouble than Marvel, Disney. Okay. I think. Listen, Disney makes the money with the Marvel movies. Yeah. I don't know about the other stuff. The comics, I don't know. I have no idea.
Like I said, Max, they do not know because they do not look up information. They do not know. I just stated in the first 5, the DCEU movies, the DC movies as of now, they in their first, if you compare the first DCEU movies to the first couple of Marvel movies, DC made more money than anything. We're not even talking about the ones in the next stage. We're not even talking about the other ones. They made way more money. Yeah, he's going by now because Warner Brothers hasn't put a DC property out through that time. So for the first couple of movies, if you put them side by side, DC made way more money, and he's thinking just movies. He's not. Right. I don't even want to get into that. Just know.
All right. Well, let's move. I actually had more topics to cover. Hey, Chad.
What's a hot button
Yeah,
issue, honestly, though?
No,
I don't want to entertain people.
No,
Don't want to entertain
no,
people.
but if we keep going addressing each comment, we're never going to move on.
Right.
I mean, but this is a good conversation. Maybe I'll have to go on Prime show to follow up or Enoch or something. But I just DC does what Disney don't. I mean, that's not saying Disney's bad for what they're doing. I'm not. It's just different in that, and they go with the trends, go with what's going on. What you have opportunity to do something different, do something that they can't, and then you create an opportunity for yourself instead of just chasing the mouse. Don't chase the mouse. You know, that's what. All right, but that's what we're ended there. I love the chat. I was going. Oh, okay. Facts. Phobias coming with facts.
Like I said, I'm not entertaining that. Like I say, he has not listened and has not done this information. That's not what I said.
It didn't make Avengers money. No, it did not. No.
I'm not getting into that, man, because
people are more depressed these days. We want dark movies. We are going to see Disney go dark to because that's where the money is now. We'll have to see how it plays out. If DC starts making more than Marvel, then they'll reevaluate. Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on.
You're right, Phobic. BVS did not make. That's why this whole scenario started. Okay, Static Shock. I actually looked that up, and they are making the movie. I don't know much about Static Shock.
Yeah, I know.
Neither do I.
Are you excited by this Prime? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Static Shock is tight, yo. Static Shock is tight. So yeah, it's tight. I'm glad they're making a movie, man. It's his credit. It's about time that he's getting a movie. A lot of people are gonna like Static Shock because he did have an animated show.
Yes, the animated show good.
Yep, the anime show is real good.
Okay,
real good. So I mean, hey, you don't know too much about Static Shock, you will enjoy it. You really, really will. So so I'm interested.
Do you think it has the opportunity to be a big box office?
It depends on where they're going to go with it, because if they're going to go, because you got to go with the times, depending on where the story is going to be. So if it's going to be more with, how can I say, more political and BLM.
Okay.
all that stuff like that. It all depends on which direction they're going to go with the story, what they're going to put in with today's politics and what's going on with that. So it all depends on how they, what they're going to put in it. So it really all depends. Like I say, I'm all for it. When they announced it, I was like, "Oh, that's sweet, that's cool."
So producer Reginald Hudlin, House Party Boomerang to Django Unchained.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm interested. I saw the cartoon somewhere, and I just didn't watch it because I have no. I was like, I don't know this character, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, watch the cartoon. Just watch it. You'll get to know about it or whatever, and then go from there. It's Static Shock is good. It's not. That's why I said that. Some of the low end characters that a lot of people really don't know, they're going to bring these characters.
Well,
up.
You have to. Okay, and yes, there's a possibility it's going to go the SJW route, especially after recent events, which I'm not going to comment on. But Black Panther was he wasn't before he got his film. He wasn't a big character for Marvel either. So the same opportunity with Static Shock. You don't know under the right direction, the right actor, it could blow up. You don't know.
I mean, Black Panther had his audience before the movie, but it was just a movie.
It had an audience, but I think it had a bigger audience than Static Shock. I do think that.
Yeah. I would say that, yeah. But Static Shock, like I say, a lot of people don't know of them. It's just like, that's just like Black Lightning. A lot of people really didn't know about Black Lightning. I love Black Lightning. So a lot of people.
Oh yeah. I got to watch that show. Everyone tells me. I started to watch it with my wife, and she wasn't feeling it, but I was like, okay, this is decent. I think it takes a few episodes to get into it. And
even when it's like the show is just a show. It's a CW show, so you can't compare it to the actual books.
Mm-hmm.
They have some of the concepts, but you have to actually read the actual books. So, but the show has its, the show is a CW show, so it has to do CW things.
All right. I'm going to some Marvel news. I had more stuff up, but I'll just go straight into the Marvel news to show that I'm not completely, 100% unbiased is impossible. Let's be real. But I do want to cover Marvel news. Where's the article that I had up here?
Yeah, teach me something new with the dang stuff, because all I knew was that I probably heard of it.
Now, I like Joel Kinnaman. I like him in everything. I think he's underrated. Like, I think he's more subtle actor, and people don't give him respect. I loved RoboCop. I like The Killing. Altered Carbon season 1 was pretty decent.
He was in Suicide Squad.
He's in the Suicide Squad too.
Mm-hmm.
So according to this MCU exchange, which I don't know if they're legit or whatever, but whatever. Marvel Studios is eyeing Joel Kinnaman type actor. Oh, that's bullshit. I should have read that before.
I was just gonna say, did you read the title?
Oh, thanks. Screw you, MCU exchange.
But I think with that being said, even if Joel did want to do something with the MCU, he's on the contract with right now. So with him being on the contract, I don't think that he can actually do 2 right now, even if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So, and on top of that, well, I'm not going to get into it because, like I say, Suicide Squad about to come out next year.
Mm-hmm.
So the second part, and then I'll leave that alone. So yeah.
But I would like that if he. Damn it. He's probably stuck in DC. Which is a good thing. That Suicide Squad has a high chance of success. What's going to happen if it blows it out the water and it makes more money than Guardians 1 even? Is he going to stick with? Is he going to go back to Guardians 3, or is he going to be tempted by DC to just stay?
You talk about Gunn?
Yeah.
No, Gunn is going to do 3. He already said he's going to do 3.
Okay.
He's going to do the trilogy. He's going to finish it. He's going to finish that. But when it comes down to the directors and what they say, okay, and this is just from numerous individuals that are out there that says this, not from and they're all concrete. They're basically all matching. Okay, even Patty Jenkins even said it. Mm-hmm. When they worked for Marvel and they was working for the MCU, it wasn't very, very comfortable. They're real control freaks. They're not going to allow them to really do their vision and let them do what they got to do. That's why Patty Jenkins got the hell up out of there after Thor 2. She wasn't going to do Thor 3. She wasn't going to do that Ragnarok. She wasn't going to do that. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing with James Gunn. So they're allowing him to do what he has to do so he can get done. He said, yeah, the work environment may not be what he likes, but the cast likes James Gunn. It's
they don't want to do it without him.
But they don't want to do it. That's why Dave Bautista was so pissed off, because they don't want to do the movie without Gunn. They feel more comfortable with Gunn at the helm. So he's going to do the third one. They're going to get that out the way, and then he's done. He's not doing anything else for the MCU. He's strictly going to be with Warner Brothers and DC. Because he has the creative freedom. He don't have no restrictions.
Yeah. Here, I could see that. Here's a one that I'm actually really excited about for Marvel. I really want the Hawkeye series, and Haley Steinfeld is a good actress. I like everything she's in. I like Bumblebee. She's signed up. The rumor is that she signed on to play Kate Bishop in Hawkeye, and that's a good thing because Hawkeye series they weren't sure of for a while, especially with what's the Hawkeye's actor's name?
That's a good question because I forgot who you talking about.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. He had some personal drama which people were bringing up that wasn't our business, just like everything. That they were unsure if they were going to proceed. But yes, I would love to see that. I think she's going to be her daughter, right?
I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that he's going to get a personal movie. I'm really glad that he's going to get it. I'm really glad because they really shortchanged Hawkeye in the movies a lot. And he really need to get his own just due. And he really need to get his own movie for himself so people can actually see his story, whatever. Like, a lot of people don't like Hawkeye. I mean, it's not, I'm just saying for it to be fair for everybody, because everybody got their own movie. I mean, Cap got his own movie. Black Widow about to get hers. Who else? Who's on it? Thor got his own. Who else got their own? That's on the Avengers. I'm trying to think. Hulk don't count because they messed him up.
Well, the Hulk was shortchanged in the MCU for sure.
Yeah,
Ant-Man got his own movie.
Oh, Ant-Man. Okay.
Ant-Man. Yeah. So I mean, not everybody got their. Oh yeah, Black Panther got his and all this.
And I also want to address the chat. I do see what you're talking about, but you're talking on an old subject, and I'm trying to move on to Marvel news. So you're still talking about you're dunking on DC still, which is fine. The chat.
Michael S.
But I'm trying to move on to Marvel news. I'm trying to move on to Disney. This is Hawkeye is one of my favorites that I'm looking forward to. That and Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's the other one I'm really looking forward to.
I just want to comment on the Kate Bishop. If it's going to be like the comments, I think Hawkeye is more like a mentor to Kate Bishop.
Yeah,
it's not his daughter. Also,
okay.
I think Haley will be perfect for Kate Bishop. That being said, I don't like the character. I hate her.
Oh really?
Yes, I hate her from what I read.
Oh, okay.
I really don't like her.
Don't let the... Oh, wait! What? What the hell, Phobic? What the hell, Phobic? I'm trying to address all your concerns. Okay, I'll ignore you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So stop complaining in the chat about Matt not reading your posts.
No, I mean I'm trying to. Oh, now I lost the website. Damn it. I wanted to see what else they had to say. Let me bring up my history here. Well, while I'm looking that up, you playing anything on your channel this week, Prime, that you want to talk about, or?
No, I already did 2 of the main videos that I did. I did them this weekend. I did the Justice League stuff, and the breakdown of the Justice League and all that. I broke that down. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. I did an hour breakdown of everything, the significance of the theories. Also, I'm probably going to do a little bit more of I'm going to do the Black Adam because I did like that. I did like the Dwayne Johnson panel, and that's pretty much it. And probably go a little bit more in depth with the Sandman when they were talking about the Sandman comic. I love Sandman. So yeah, so I will do a little bit more about with that. Oh, and I'm doing a round table for the Snyder thing with the with that. So I'm doing that on Wednesday. Well, no, I'm doing that Wednesday, but it is supposed to be coming out whenever they decide to release it or whatever like that. So I got stuff coming up.
Here's one for Phobic. I got one for you, Phobic. You'll love this one. Captain Marvel sequel featuring Kamala Khan and other Avengers. Does that make you happy? That's an
take the devil's advocate.
Talking about the argument, and we're not going to go into it here, Prime, but the argument. People get annoyed with SJW characters in comics. Hey, it's all an execution for me. I don't judge them ahead of time. Oh man, Hey, I brought up a Marvel story. They are assembling the Captain Marvel. They've got the director. What do you want me to do? I'm talking about Marvel now.
It's Marvel news, man. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Captain Marvel is going to be, put it like this. They're going to keep on talking about Captain Marvel. It made $1 billion. So once they made $1 billion, they're going to make a sequel, and then they're going to try to do something else. Yeah, it's going to make money because you got a lot of those feminists and those SJW women that actually love it. So it's going to make, it has an audience.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of Captain Marvel 2s too. Candyman director Nia DaCosta. Now, I don't know her, but that Candyman trailer looked legit. That remake of it.
Oh, yeah.
I watched her movie Little Woods with Tessa Thompson and Lily James, I think, if I'm not mistaken, who played Cinderella in Disney.
Okay. Well, now that I cover more than DC, people are still mad at me. I can't win.
Yeah,
really?
You cover what you want to cover, man. I'm not worried about your chat, man. You cover what you want to cover. Because like I said, it's good to cover everything.
No, I want to cover more though. I don't want to just do DC.
Right.
Yes, but that's what the news has been. That's all.
Yeah, what you want to cover. You know what I mean? But it's been strictly a lot of
travel.
It's been a lot of. I got so much stuff. I still got to talk about the games. I still got
Trav
game and the Gotham Knights. That's God, that's fantastic. Ooh,
Trav, you should write that movie. If they said Karen the movie, people would go see that.
That's not a joke. They're actually making a movie called Karen.
Oh, they are? That's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Is there a trailer yet? I've got to see that movie.
No, there's news about some movie called Karen about white nationalists who is going aggressive on African Americans.
Oh, it's not a comedy then.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a comedy. Okay, I don't want to cover that right now.
I don't even know what movie. What show you talking about? I can tell you if it's the one that's on HBO Max right. Or no, he probably don't have that. No, that's not.
He is talking about a recent news article about the Karen movie.
I know what you're talking about.
All right, let's try Star Wars. Let's see how Star Wars. Everyone, this is for you, Sci-Fi. I'm covering more than DC. Let's bring up Star Wars, okay? See how this goes. Kathy Kennedy. Lucasfilm is taking time to step back and think about where Star Wars is going.
Oh my God, man!
Today on Doomcock's channel.
This one.
Oh, okay, go Prime. Now you're going to get some respect from the people that were not that you didn't have respect from me, but some in the chat. Go ahead. Go off on Kathy.
I'm gonna put it like this. Look,
please.
Look, and Kathy, she's getting so much heat. It's like she's getting stuff from both directions. Because there's a lot of people that like it, but there's a tons of people that don't. So she has to really, 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 really think of what she's doing. Now she's doing good with the Mandalorian.
She's irrelevant right now to me.
I know she's irrelevant
because Favreau is really heading out.
I mean,
she's got a say. I'm not saying she doesn't have a say, but
yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, I don't keep up with the Star Wars stuff. I just know she's in hot water, and a lot of people just don't like her. So it is what it is.
She doesn't. She's not like a Feige, and that's what Star Wars needs. Star Wars needs someone that's at least respected by most of the fandom itself. She is not respected by the fandom. She doesn't engage with the fandom at all. If anything, she says she has a tendency to blame them for her failures.
I think that's what the problem with Disney is right now. Connecting with the fans.
So how did that go? How did that go? Covering other topics.
Yeah, that's bad. If they don't, you don't connect with the fans to at least get feedback.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you're not,
I mean, the only interviews she does are with like Vanity Fair or at Star Wars Celebration, where she's got her crew around her. Even George Lucas, when he was doing the prequels, he did a like 60 minutes or something. He did other stuff.
Yeah, the documentary was
while he's directing. So
that's George Lucas.
yeah.
Yes, man.
George Lucas.
It's gonna be great, George. It's gonna be great.
You know what I mean? My thing is because I'm in the loop. I have to really do my due diligence to really pick up on that. But I heard something. I know it's
Well, Walter Hamada has already done more than Kathy Kennedy has.
Yeah.
In DC fandom, he's already done more than she has.
Yeah, you don't even hear from him, and I was shocked to see him. So for him to even say something, but where I heard that George Lucas is about to get back involved with the Star Wars now or something, because I guess something.
Oh,
no. Okay,
that's what everyone likes. That's what gets clicks on YouTube. But I if he is, it's just like as a consultant or to visit the set, with people that he's enjoying. Like he's probably, because he got so many Disney shares, he probably has something in his contract where he can't like crap on it. Because you remember that Charlie Rose, they were like, whoa.
Oh yeah, no.
They did not like that. I mean, he was really testing the limits of what he could say. So this is how you know when George Lucas likes it. He actually says something about it. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't even see it or go to the premiere.
Oh, okay.
Really? No, that's how you know now. I did a video that got almost 100K views where I said George's strong reaction to Solo. And I said he's never going to comment on it. And he didn't. He didn't comment on that or Rise.
Send me the link on that on Twitter. I want to watch that, bro. I want to watch that. I want to check that out.
Because people got mad at me for clickbait. I'm like, that's how you tell. That's his strong message to Kathy. I'm not gonna say anything. And then
they always say silence speaks louder than words.
But
right.
But that does make sense though, because it is his properties. He sold his soul away, but he's still getting the revenue.
Well, not only that, but they burned him when they took his treatments for the story and basically said, "We're not making that." I wouldn't come back here. Yeah, he had a whole thing drawn up for the sequel trilogy, and they just said, "Nah." Yeah,
wow,
they did George dirty, man, like really bad.
Yeah, but he at least knew what a multiverse was. What do you think, Kathy? Can you imagine Kathy Kennedy? We're gonna do a multiverse.
But JJ does the best.
She's like, we have no source material, even though there's all these books.
Yeah, Star Wars got a lot of books. I don't know why they don't ever. That was my question. It's like I don't see how Star Wars can actually have problems when they got
because it would be a multiverse. That's why.
That's the other thing they did, is they threw out the old ones and now they have Disney Star Wars books.
No, I'm not sequel hating. I'm just hating on hating on Kathy's different.
Oh wow, well they got to delimit in, and it goes back to what I stated with homie that's in the chat. It's Disney.
Also, have you heard about the Obi-Wan news?
What's about the Obi-Wan news?
It's gonna be limited series and only 4 episodes.
Yes.
For what?
We wait all these years.
Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus.
No season 2. That's it. 4 episodes. That's it.
Of what?
Obi-Wan.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
That's my reaction.
What? Yeah, I mean that's a long waiting for. That's it. Limited series. Basically, the Snyder cut it can compete with Obi-Wan. 4 episodes.
I like Star Wars. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I like Star Wars. I feel sorry for Star Wars fandom, man, because it's like
thank you. That means a lot.
It's been a rough few years, man.
It's like everybody, I like Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not deep into it like that. I know of it. I know certain elements of it, so I'm not like oblivious to certain stuff. But just behind the scenes and what's going on, I didn't know it was like that. That's bad. That's bad.
All right, Phobic. We actually went longer than I was. I gotta get to sleep. Thanks, Prime, for coming on. I
gotta go to bed too.
You bring in the heat with the conversation.
Always appreciated, man. I love having conversations.
I'll be honest with you. Not all my my viewers agree with you, but I think that makes the conversation better, though. Hey, Phobic and Michael S. in the cell. Can't you give Prime props for giving a strong conversation, even though you
I don't hate on people that you know they that's good to disagree. You know what I mean? Because you have to have if people got on your panel and you can have a discussion or whatever. It's not about hollering, but I like to hear people's perspectives on why they disagree. I would truly like to hear your perspectives because I feel that when you have a discussion or whatever, I want to hear your reasons why, if it's concrete on your reasoning on what it is. If your reasoning is concrete, then you got something going. If it's not concrete, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you just pulling stuff out your ass. That's what you're doing. So it is what it is.
people in the chat are saying they're happy it's limited. I'll tell you what, if it is limited, they better get it right. Because if they F it up and it's 4 episodes and you never get you in again, oh my God. That'll be the next backlash.
You know what?
Problem is my only problem is I don't want to be 30-ish or something minutes because when you count it down, that's basically a 2-hour movie. Why not just make a movie?
Oh yeah, if they do Mandalorian length for Obi-Wan and it's only 30-minute episodes, people get mad. Yeah.
You know what? And you know what? I had to think about it for a minute. I think that now I'm understanding why they like to limit it because even though it's Obi-Wan and you go back into his lore, depending on what it is, like you said, if it's a movie and it's an hour long per episode or whatever, how long they're going to do it, you know, I think that maybe the 50-minute or the hour mark for 4 episodes would make sense because they pretty much can go into his lore from birth till then, and then you can go to wherever it's going to tie into because pretty much I know about Obi-Wan, but we don't know him as a child. We don't know him what actually.
Well, I think it's good. It's just going to go after the prequels, in between the prequels and A New Hope. It's just going to be that segment of his life.
The only thing we do know right now is there was a book called Master.
Unless they do flashbacks, they could do flashbacks.
Master and Apprentice was good.
By Claudia Gray, yes.
Yeah, Claudia Gray. It came out a year or so ago.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, it followed Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. It was actually really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the new canon books are really good. I have most of them on Audible. It's like listening to a movie. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is where I'm going to end it because I am getting tired and I have a long day at work tomorrow. Thanks, Prime. Go sub to Prime, especially you, Phobic and Michael. Go sub to, go Prime time. Milad, give Prime some love. Thanks, Milad, for coming on. I liked what you brought to the table. I didn't think about that about Moonknight. I think that is a concern with Moonknight and Blade. We'll be following that. Okay, they're still going. But I can't wait till you stop because you're going to keep going. Master of Madness.
Yes, sir.
I gotta watch your Star. I still have to watch your Star Trek.
Oh, it's okay. I'll probably put on another one. There's another episode of Lower Decks on Thursday, so I'm going to keep mine in that one.
No, thanks, Max. This is what my viewers do to me. Phobic is actually a producer of the show, free of charge, and he's the pushiest producer. At least he didn't leave like Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze just left. Mr. Freeze says, "I'm a producer. If I don't get my way, I'm not coming on." What's Prime's channel? Okay, good. That's a good question, Christopher Barker. Christopher Barker will sub to you. He's a good dude. He gives.
Just type in Prime 76, man. I'm straight up, man. You're sneaky, man. I'm laughing at homie up in the chat. Say I didn't come with facts and I came with feelings. He just don't know me too well.
No, he was just showing his feelings all over the comment section.
All right, John. Good night, man.
Well, yeah. Here is his channel before we end it. Here it is. Go sub, Phobic and Michael. Bye.
All right, John. I gotta be out. Peace.
All right, bye.
Peace.